Boom, bum, 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 bum. Hey, everybody, welcome back to Friday afternoon in the Space Art by Christopher Dahl Studios. Hey, welcome aboard. Hey, happy Friday. And we are sick and tired of snow. Hey, welcome. Anyhow, hey, who do we have here? Anybody in here? No, we've got a couple. All righty, very fun. Anyhow, tell your managers you're not going to your Friday meetings. You're part of the general strike. This is my service to all of you. Hey, everybody, welcome aboard. Hey, Houdini Bob, greetings. Happy Friday. How you doing today? Greetings. We're gonna get things rolling here. Have a nice little fun afternoon. I'm enjoying this having my setup work, which is great. Rhonda's here. Hey, how you doing, Rhonda? Good to see you. Hope none of you are freezing your tushes off, because we certainly are. The basement here, all the cold air comes down, so about the bottom 2 feet of the floor is just an ice box. So I'm sitting here with boots on. Well, not really, but anyhow. Well, it's been a busy time in the studio. Thank you to everybody who's joined the Patreon. I've left a couple of links up in the chat there. There's going to be a heck of a lot more activity going on over there, including our first Patreon only live stream. I'll be scheduling that this week. I've got things to show that could be kind of fun, and maybe you could do a Q&A session. So hey, if you're not on and you're interested, that'd be fantastic. Go ahead and follow the link over there. And of course, if you want to join the Discord, I've got that in the link up there as well. I'll try to remember to pop those in. I'm not running Streamlabs right now, so it won't do it for me. And I haven't set anything else up yet. In the interest of trying to keep the live stream going great, I've stripped everything down to just OBS Studio. For those that have live stream, know what I'm talking about. There's not a lot of extra fun things going on, unfortunately. Hey, I still wish they would get the dang animated emojis. That's so bothersome. But I will be cracking that nut open here too. But hey, had a fun time last week. We did the Space Frog painting. We did a couple actually. So we'll be picking this up again tonight. This is our ongoing project. The 16 however many is this? The 20 squares of Space Frog, right? These little panels here. I'm doing one each time. This one was Battle, so it was Space Frog playing Battleship, and then the next one was Cats. Sorry, let me put that up there. Cats. So we have that, and we're gonna be doing that drawing, and I'll start us off with a short Space Frog. Also, what we did last week, I only started this one. I know I'm terrible at this. I always start these paintings and don't finish them. I did sort of a profile painting of Space Frog here. Which is kind of a, I've his morphology morphed a little bit. I'm just gonna write it up as, you know, that's what frogs do, right? They change their forms. Now his eyes kind of started to look a little bit more like a Chuck Jones, Hanna-Barbera, not Hanna-Barbera, but more like a Warner Brothers style. I like it, but I've brought him back since then to some of the more original shape and form, and we'll be showing that. But anyway, so I don't know if I'm gonna finish this one. I've got another one I want to do. It's sort of a companion piece to go with it. So I think what we're gonna do is I'm gonna do the companion piece for this, and because many of you have joined here on YouTube as a member, and thank you as well, I'm gonna be doing a members only live stream that will be working specifically on finishing some of these. So if you're on Patreon, you're going to get the inside story on Space Frog, and if you're here, I'm gonna be doing some extras there, including the Friday live stream. I know that's a lot. Let's see if I can do it one at a time. Thank you. Hey, Arts of Space is back here again. Welcome aboard. Space Frog is a classy frog. He really is. You know, we had this, like, I don't know if I can keep this on in here. We'd watched the show Mad Men. It was recently upgraded to 4K, and I wanted to give him a little debonair swagger, and I've got this mid-century modern thing going on. So yeah, there we go. Having fun with it. Plus, it gets me a chance to kind of paint some fun stuff. But yeah, Space Frog's been on the live stream. For those that are just joining, he's been the unofficial, semi-official designated mascot, the Space Frog. And I have a long history of drawing cartoon kind of characters like this, and I've done a web comic, which for those of you who are on the Discord have seen, I dropped a couple. I found my web comic, and unfortunately, it no longer has its own home. So I've been debating how to rehost it, and I believe I'm going to be releasing it on the Patreon account. I'm going to be doing a whole re-release of Breaking Fitz Law, plus some background information for each of it, so you get sort of an idea of the kind of madness I was going through when I went through that. Mostly, it was a weird chronicling of my time in tech and the madness that ensued. But anyhow, so while we're gathering everybody here, I want to show you the other fun thing that I was working on. I kind of did a peek of that, but last week we have I have rescued, let me get it right. I have rescued this old model kit that I've had of the classic Enterprise D. And yeah, it's it's reflecting all of the fluorescent lights. Yeah. So this is the problem the ILM people had with this damn thing too. It's huge and it reflects light in a weird way. But anyhow, why is this special? It's not. It's actually this is old. This is so old. I purchased this model kit, this very one, in 1988, pretty much the year that Next Gen came out. AMT Erdl Model Corporation, which has had a long history of building Star Trek models, ramped up production on this one to coincide with the production of the show. Now, I bought and built this thing with all the skills that I had at the time. I was probably, 20, very, very young. And so it was a basic paint job, nothing too fancy. And the problem is the kit comes in two distinct pieces, which represents the, saucer separation, woohoo! And I never wanted to glue the dang neck together. So it always kind of sat on the shelf in weird places and just got battered up. So I thought maybe it would need a good repaint and a new decal set. Is that a starship for ants? Crazy. It is. No lights in this one, but what I really wanted to do, I don't have this Enterprise. This is not my favorite Enterprise, okay? I think it's a gorgeous design, and I've grown to appreciate it over the years. It was never my favorite, but the shape confounded me when I watched this on TV. I was expecting round, and it's not. It's this weird, it's a lima bean is what it is. It's a lima bean shape. Well, that was weird to me when I first was viewing it, and of course we didn't have the internet quite the same way we had it today, so it was hard to see that. Anyhow, in the interest of keeping this thing something I wanted to put on a shelf, I attached magnets. Let me kick on over here. Boop. I have attached magnets, embedded these neodymium magnets. Neodymium. These are powerful magnets. This is like a 20 millimeter, and there's 370 millimeters. And it pops. It pops right together, and I'm going to tell you, it ain't going anywhere. That starship is stuck together. Now, I don't know why is this a thrill for me? I was never able to pick this thing up and look at it from different angles. I should have just bought another one and glued the thing together, right? That's way too complicated. I couldn't just do that. So here we go. Yeah, we now have a fully operational one. Hey, Chris, we got Domenico from Palermo. Is it Palermo? Domenico from Palermo. Greetings, welcome aboard, and ciao. Hey, howdy. We are we're starshipping before we get rolling with the painting. Thanks for joining. That's so awesome. Yeah, we're trying to avoid the ice in snowy USA. Welcome aboard. We're gonna have fun. So I got this model, and I don't know, this just cracks me up. It's something so simple, right? I didn't bother engineering this. The other thing I did is I put a brass like rod right through the neck. So this thing weighs like a pound more than it did. So it's actually going to have a real nice brass stand to it. Anyhow, I was excited and it was fun. I thought I would share that with you. It just gives me a great bit of joy to be able to pick this thing up and look at it, because when you're, hang on, let me slide this back over here. There we go. I like to draw the starships. That was the first thing that really made me mental about drawing Star Trek starships, specifically the original Enterprise. So when Next Gen came out, and I was confused by the shapes because it's a far more complicated. There isn't a straight line on it. Well, there are a couple. It was a very organic shape, and just viewing it on a tiny TV set wasn't doing it for me. So having a model like that means I can actually kind of check it out. And for the benefit of drawing the ship, which I did do many times actually, I actually would tape the damn thing together. So anyway, this is just there's a few unbuilt models or models that need some love from way back. I'm kind of kicking these out so I can have some fun things on the shelves. Anyhow, so it's a lot in the studio, not just Space Frog, and spaceships. Yeah, here we go. The drink today is just water. Honestly, it's very, very dry in this house. Very, very dry. That furnace has been running like crazy. Alrighty, here we go. Well, I'm gonna clear the decks of some other stuff here, and let's go ahead and get right to it, shall we? We're gonna draw another one of these, another one for the Space Frog painting. Let's see here. I'm gonna go ahead and let me make some room here. We can just set this down. I'm gonna set my other Space Frog out. And yeah, I'll let you all tell me in chat. How do you want when I get a piece like this that I don't finish? How would you like to see this finished? Would you like a whole separate session where I just finish them? Because I have a good stack of paintings I've started on these live streams that I would really like to bring to the conclusion that they deserve, and it'd be kind of fun if I could just kick it around. But yeah. I don't know. My live streams typically go about 2 hours or so, and I'm finding that with what I do between painting and running it all at the same time and just doing it, interacting and everything, that's about the extent of it. My brain starts turning to fog after that, and when we end up with diminishing returns. So I have to get through that barrier somehow. We'll figure it out. Separate. Thank you, Rhonda. I appreciate it. I will do that. Part of my New Year's resolution to actually do that. But anyhow, alrighty, let's see. We've got here. Let's go through the rules again here, shall we? It's the Space Frog panel. The rules are: I only draw 1 square per session, and then I pick a square on the table. Paint the square with my interpretation of what is on the paper. And I need to stay within that theme. The theme right now is Space Frog, so the overall theme will be real easy. I've got a pretty good idea how I can deal with Space Frog. Anyhow, let's and of course feedback from chat is very important as well. Anyhow, let me go ahead and just I need a cat here to draw one for me. If I did that, they would draw all of them and bat them under the sofa. Anyhow, okay, here we go. Let's put that one down there. I'm gonna find the box. Here we go. Find the box. And what do we have here today? Oh, I need a drum roll, please. Let's see. Holy smokes. Spaghetti. Oh my gosh. Space Frog and spaghetti. Space Frog and spaghetti. Space Frog, spaghetti. Now, I've got an okay understanding of frog and toad physiology and morphology, but I'm not really certain if spaghetti was necessarily one of their main things. I feel like a frog would probably be more like a, I don't know, ravioli or a tortellini kind of creature. But yeah, spaghetti. Okay, anybody, let's any calls here? We're gonna number this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, let's just do that. Let's go with let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we'll go. This will be A, B, C, D. All right, so this will be 2, 3, 4, B, C, D. Anybody got any flies in the spaghetti sauce? Oh, yeah, we got a winner. All right, that's cool. All righty, let's see. Oh, that's going to be just too good. I got to do that. I agree. Okay, let's see. I kind of feel like I want to go over here with this one. So we're going to designate this this corner here, and let me do a little prep here for a second. Let me just I'm gonna go right ahead here and move this on in, so we got a good view right along there. All right, there we go. All right, we can do that. Pull that back over there. All right, cool. All right. We're going for the spaghetti. Oh my god, that's just too freaking hilarious. By the way, all credit for this goes to my wife Stephanie Dahl. She is awesome and has came up with this idea, and I think it's super cool. So there we go. All right, spaghetti. I'm sorry, yelling into my microphone. I'm gonna blow everybody out. All right, we've got the space frog and the spaghetti. Forgive my poor American Italian pronunciation. I will tell you, I have cousins that grew up in Rome, and my aunt, one of my aunts, married a wonderful gentleman in Rome. His family is from Assisi, actually. So while growing up on visits to Seattle, I was quite frequently exposed to proper Italian culture in a direct way over the course of weeks staying with these my lovely cousins. There we go. Spaghetti is my life. Yes, tomato sauce and Parmigiano. Yeah, I absolutely. That is one of our. We cook a lot in our house, and that is easily one of the favorites of the. This is absolutely one of our favorites. In fact, we're also anyway. So yeah. So if you forgive me if I as I speak, I go into something completely horrible and I sound awful Italian. So it is not. It's not intended to be a knock. There we go. Okay. I'm doing some light pencil here. It probably can't even be seen, but I have blue. All right, so let's see. We need. All right, here we go. I'm doing. We need his charming smile, and then we're gonna bring the eyes up over here because this is one happy space frog. Here we go. And then it's going to go down there and up there. And we're going to be like wide eyes. Yes, we are hungry and very excited. Okay. So, all right. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Bum, bum, ba, da, do, 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 do. All right. There will be Okay. We're doing it. We're doing the flies. We are doing the flies for sure. Okay. I think I've got enough to go on. So with these paintings, I have been doing I've been using liquid acrylic. So this is like a high flow acrylic by Golden. And this has been really fun. So I am going to go ahead and grab some brush action here. Get my old brush going. Oh, need some water. I need my good liner brush is not, there we go. That is not it. So anyhow, okay, so I'm going to start with black. I'm going to do some outlines because that's going to dry pretty quick and we should be good from there. Where did all my good liners go? Where did my good liner brushes go? I don't know. Yes. All righty. It was pretty cool. I mean, even back as far as the 70s, my Aunt Mary Kay would fly over from Rome, and she would actually bring like legit olive oil, which is great. Which is, it's not like you couldn't get decent olive oil in the States in the 70s, but it didn't occur in your average grocery store to the level that you would expect. So there's She would actually she would come prepared. Oh, and her own garlic too. Yeah, it was the first time I got like exposed to proper, some proper variations of just garlic. Uh, 70s era grocery stores in the U.S. were kind of dreadful about that sort of thing. I like to credit my. Whoa, no, don't do that. No uh-ohs. There's no oops. We're gonna have a big black eye right in here. There we go. Don't forget the meatballs. Yes. Well, ooh, good thinking. Would now if a frog were to totally make go through great lengths to either make or find a decent um spaghetti, then would they actually go to meatballs or would they just fill it with flies? Okay. My board is fighting against me right here, but we're gonna get there, everybody. Okay, so there's kind of this like I got to do a delineation here. Um, so the other thing that comes to mind to me is Lady and the Tramp, of course, but I'm not going to include a um, what do you call it? I'm not going to include a love interest to Space Frog. I think I've come to the conclusion that Space Frog is pretty much asexual, non like because frogs are like they could do anything, right? So they can kind of just be their own. They're kind of like, hey, what do you got? What do you got thinking? What are you going on with tonight? Huh? Yeah, come on. No, which would get back to Space Frog being the swingers. Flies are meat, right? Oh, that's absolutely abs. I see your point. I agree. Yeah, we're doing it. We're doing it, Rhonda. All right, so we need some. We need the Tower of Noodles here, and this is fun because this means I get to like try to paint um, some different colors that I haven't yet. I mean, spaghetti colors and awful giant space frog tongue colors. Ooh, because frogs have these hideous tongues when you look at them in slow motion. Um, yeah. All right, here we go. Now I'm going from memory or what like horse flies. Yeah. Hey, this horse meat's turned. No. Now we're at a we're at a good restaurant, Houdini. We're not in the South Flint, Michigan. No. Picking on Flint, Michigan. Forgive me, all of my Flint, Michigan natives here. I can pick on Flint, Michigan because I kind of grew up around there. So there we go. But yeah. Woohoo. There we are. Okay, so we've got the snapping of the mouth here, and hello from Joselito's Mexican restaurant on an 82. You have 82 degrees. Hello, Wes. Greetings. Hey, I'll take a chili rellenos, please. We're kind of like going on the we're kind of going with the Italian thing tonight. But honestly, I will include a plate of nachos. Absolutely. What did I just need for this here? Oh yeah. Let's just take a look here, shall we? With the utmost love, bite me. Let's see here. Let's just check this out, shall we? Okay, yeah. Oh yeah. 12 degrees. Look at that. Woohoo! That's Fahrenheit, folks. Although indoors, my fake thermometer is I have a wall clock with a thermometer, but it lies because it's kind of under the heat vent, so that it's about 10 degrees warmer on my thermometer than it is in the rest of the room. Oh yeah, good times. Houdini Bob, you're in the southeast Texas, north of Houston. Oh, I had cousins that grew up. Well, I have cousins that grew up all over the place. Italy and Houston. Not with that fork. Awesome. Oh, too funny, everyone. I'm loving it. Hey, it's good to be here on a Friday. Let's get raw in. So we got space. So the plan is this: I'm gonna lay in the color, and I'm gonna render the flies last because I kind of want to get the rest of it in here, right? Alrighty. Let me see here. Let me go in, and I do have my little tray of joy here. My little tray of stuff. Let's get a little. I'm gonna go for just kind of another sky. Should I do a sky color, or is this one in a restaurant? This one's in a restaurant, so we are going to. I figure, yeah, Space Frog's gonna go to a fairly reasonable place, right? Yeah, a fairly reasonable restaurant establishment. So nothing too extraordinary. Oop, didn't mean to do for that one. Wanted to do this one right here. So I kind of want a ceiling that trends to purple. Let's see. Da da ba bo do 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 do. We'll go with a little phthalo or ultramarine. Let's do the ultramarine for that one. There we go. All right. Get some blue on here. There we are. And then I need some titanium white. So again, these are liquid acrylics. They're really honestly they're great for airbrushing. I still thin them down with um one of their airbrush mediums when I do go for airbrushing. But they're almost exactly where they need to be out of the gate. Now I also need an orange, so I'm going to add a little raw umber to the board here. So these are just liquid paints. I'm this is a plastic. What do you call it? What do you call these? A little plastic paint tray holder, kind of thing you'd expect to get when you were in high school. I love them. And there we go. We're just gonna throw that in here. So I've got my magenta. It's a quinacridone magenta. I've got a little bit of ultramarine blue, some white to brighten it all up, and a little bit of that burnt umber just to um, just to tone it down a little bit, keep it from being so crazy bright. All right, so let's just see here. Want a little bit of my blue. I'm gonna mix it in this. Oh, sorry. I'll put it someplace where you can actually see what I'm doing. I'm gonna mix it in this tray right here. I get a little bit of magenta to purple that up. A little bit of white. Brighten it up. Brighten it up a lot more. This will sort of chalk it down a bit, and then a little bit of raw umber, and it'll still be purple, but it'll be a little muddy. That way, the brighter colors in the scene will help us sell the show a little bit. There we are. Yeah, that's good. This is a nice sort of lavender kind of background color here, and we'll just kind of come in and then lay it all in, shall we? Boo. I didn't. I didn't put enough layers of gesso on this canvas, so the board is fighting with me. I might want to do that anyway. We'll get through it. We'll get through it. It'll be fine, right? Is that to say, yay, margaritas on a Friday? Oh, that sounds so good. Oh my gosh. Sad part is I can't even tell you how far I have to drive before I get to a Mexican restaurant in this neck of the woods. So I'm totally jealous. Um, the compromise for living in an area that is virtually bereft of food, uh, in skilled food anyway, is you learn to cook it yourself. We make a mean batch of stuff from both south of the border and from the boot. All right, there we go. I got a little bit of this going on. Woohoo! I love that Space Frog's eyes are just like glazed over. I should have made him down a little bit. I might adjust his expression a bit. We'll see. Right now, it's just hilarious. So I'm just gonna go with it. I'm kind of I'm kind of pretending like this is my I'm doing cell animation for Warner Brothers or something in the 50s, but with acrylic. We make a lot of our own Mexican food too. That's so cool. Hey, says it's your last day on the marathon project. It's been fun. Space painting is the ice on the cake. Oh, that's so cool. Well, congratulations on the marathon project, and at the end of it, that's awesome. Very cool indeed. All right, let's see if I can get this filled in before we get visited by our first space art house cat. Today in the audience, she was napping just before I started the show, but now that I've been talking enough, she's like, "Oh, there's something going on." That just goes right over there. So let me just take a look before she starts jumping on things. I love having the cats in the studio, but at the same time, they're it's like having a 3-year-old running around all the time. They get into everything. They're so excited, and you love them, but you also want to scream bloody murder at them. So yeah. Anyhow, let's there she is. Okay, here we go. We're about ready to have the let me make sure I pull this in. Okay, here we go. Moving the paint. All right, hold on a second. Da, 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 da. All right, Pickles, come on. Let's go. Come on, Pickles. Let's yeah. She was literally like, "Can I come up here? Come on, babe. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Let's go." Oh my god. They're just it's nap time for the cats. Listen, I'm gonna have to review your contract. Come on. Actually, I've probably taken her off the table so many times she doesn't want to do it. Here, come on, let's go. Oh, there we go. Okay, there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we have Pickles. Yay! This is Pickles. Hello, hello. Pickles is one of the 20 cats we've got in here. Hey, what are you doing? Yeah, she's about ready to stick her butt right at the internet. So there you go. Very important. Oh, we're adorable. She just doesn't know what to do. Come here, babe. All right, there we go. I'm going to take a second and release this one back to the rest of the house so she can hang out. There we go. Yeah, you stopped painting, so she lost interest. Exactly. There we go. But at this point, since she's awake, it's going to be this for the rest of the night. So I'm going to go and take her out, and we will be right back. Don't go away. Oh, there she goes. Yeah. All right. We're right on it. We're right on it. There, she's just rubbing herself against the microphone. Oh, good. Let's go. Say hello to everybody. I mean, I love the cats, and I hate to decontaminate the entire place of cats because they're nice to have here. But yeah, the cat extraction, exactly. I've heard way too many jokes that start first, you remove the cat. Yeah, get the cat out of here. Woohoo. Okay. Yeah, I still feel like that's a little off focus. There we go. I'm manually focusing, so if it looks like I'm not, it's not in focus. Just let me know. That's perfectly cool. All right, let's get back to the proper frog. Hey, hey, get the cat out of here. All right, where were we before we were so rudely interrupted by the pickles? Oh yeah, my paint too. I oh shit, there we go. Also heard often in an artist studio, where did I put the paint? That happens a lot. Welcome aboard, everybody. If you're just joining, thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. All right, so I got that. Let's get some good gruesome colors in for the pasta, shall we? I'm gonna go with a little bit of a yellow oxide. The man with two. Oh, the Steve Martin movie. Yes, I haven't seen that in ages. I'll bet you that's on Tubi somewhere. I bet. All right. So I already have some white, which is cool. So I'm just gonna I'm running out of places to mix this. So I'm just gonna put it right up here. Oh, it's got a little purple in it. Cool. All right, that'll mix in nicely. There we go. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this sort of a little bit more white to that. There we go. I'm going to use this kind of off-white color with a yellow to it as the pasta, like, because pasta's like cylinders, right? So you got to kind of draw it like that. So just a whole bunch. I'm going to put in some streaks here. There we go. And this is kind of like I'll sort of draw it. This is kind of the way I render anything anyway. I come in and I look at where the shadows are going to fall, right? And when you do it enough, you get kind of a sense for what's happening with them. There we go. Yeah, that'll be good. That's where the quote comes from. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, every time he's doing brain surgery. It was so ridiculous. I actually saw that in the theater. Another one I saw in the theater. I shouldn't admit too many of these because oh yeah, I saw that in the theater. Oh, you're old as anyway. I'm trying to stop swearing a little bit too, and how's that going? Not great, not effing great. But it's a bad habit that I've gotten into. I'd like to thank my Catholic upbringing for giving me a nice, healthy understanding of swearing. No, it's not part of the curriculum. You just learn that in the schoolyard, and then it sticks, and you're done with it. Anyway, so there you go. Yeah. Now, I know there's a lot more colors in spaghetti, specifically. Hey, are we going for we're like a puttanesco kind of so we said, well, we did say meatball. So there's gonna be some tomato going on with this, right? There's definitely gonna be some tomato sauce going on with this. I'm gonna go a little bit darker under there. There we go. Now I'm getting the core dark color. Technically, Jar Jar Binks is a space frog. Oh, you're getting insulting on my space frog there. Kidding. You're right. Jar Jar Binks is absolutely a space frog. No question about it. So, yeah, boy, I do. I feel so badly for Ahmed Best, who really, he really threw his back into that character, and oh my God, the shitstorm. Ahmed, tell you what, man, you did a great job with what you were given, and everyone knows it. So it's not you, Ahmed, I promise. Which the same thing I would say to Jake Lloyd. So yeah, Yeah. Anyhow, yay. All right, so we're getting some pasta-y shapes in here. It's starting to read as pasta a little bit. Let me get some more over there. Okay, there we go. And let's get on to the frog. Get on to the frog. Get on to the frog. I'm gonna take a different. I don't know. I have these things everywhere except when I need them. None. Okay. Let's do another one of these then. No, that's my green one. I'm going to save that for green. What am I going to do with this? I'll just put some on the side. All right, we're going to need a touch of orange in here. So I'm going to find a good place for that. Yeah, we'll put it in with a black. And then I need some yellow. So I got some orange. This is Pyrrole orange. I think I already used this for orange before. I don't want to. I'm kind of running out of my. I only have 6 slots in this thing, so I'm. I know. There's so many more of these I could possibly be getting. And then I need a good solid yellow. There we go. I love Jar Jar. Always have, and I stand by it. So yeah, Jar Jar as a character was always just fine. That's not. I don't think that was ever actually, the issue. And he certainly was entertaining for sure. No lie. There's just a certain amount of expectation with the Star Wars movie that it was so jarring. Yeah. Okay. Everyone. Wow. Look at that. Everyone left the channel. Amazing. That didn't take long. No. Yeah, that's so jarring. All right, let's get some orange in there. All right, want some orange, and I want some yellow. Ah! All right, I'm just putting on. So Space Frog's got like a yellow bib, right? And I wanted to make sure that this is a good hot orange yellow, so you'll see the difference. But oh yeah, it was it was. It got us all a little bit off guard when we first saw that, because really there was no news about the characters. It just came right out. I mean, you kind of had a general idea there was going to be this one, but it wasn't until the thing showed up. It was you're like, what the hell? Oh gosh. It cracks me up. It is what it is. Think about it. Jar Jar Binks is responsible for all the events which took place because he nominated Palps. Yeah, but let's be clear. He was Jar Jar Binks is what we call a useful idiot, right? Jar Jar's decision, and in the Senate was going to happen anyway. It didn't matter who was doing it, right? That situation was set up to be exactly what it was. So you got a little. Yeah. Don't blame the Jar Jar. All right, let's get some green on him here, right? There we go. Yeah. These are supposed to be like quick 10, 15-minute things, and I think I've spent the first hour. Well, I was kind of yapping. I was showing off a spaceship model too, so there we go. But I want to make sure we are doing the proper amount of stuff, right? There we go. Boom, 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 boom. Darth Jar Jar. I actually Jar Jar Binks as a Dark Jedi. I know I've seen the meme. Someone has like crafted that, which is hilarious, and no complaints from here. I think that would have been a great thing. Take your slapstick character and suddenly make them really evil. I mean, that would have been kind of unexpected. But I'm sure that that probably would have landed about as well as Rian Johnson's The Last Jedi did, which is fascinating. But Jar Jar is smarter than most politicians. 100%. Not even hiding it. All right, so I need a little color for his mouth, and I'm going to kind of go for a dark darkish gray with a little purple to it. Let's get that in there. Ooh, yike. Too much, too much. I do like painting with these paints just for this kind of stuff, but it's very silly. It's quite silly. Yeah, that's a good one. All right. Now, frog eyes. I have that color right here. She's giving me the frog eyes. Oh, bad 80s big hair metal. There we go. So I start with orange. And then I'm gonna. This is like my background color for this, and we'll put in some nice details. After this all sets up. There we go. Boink. This is like tree frog coloring. There we go. Yeah, tree frog coloring. Yay! And I like this. I like kind of forcing myself to use a smaller palette like this. This is kind of nice. So I'm gonna mix up a nice little pink right here. There we go. A little pink, a little magenta with my transparent white. And we're gonna get this vicious, nasty tongue in here. You know, for reasons that I've stated over on Patreon, I've been watching some older Ren and Stimpy cartoons, and there's an entire cartoon they do where it's like the Wild Kingdom, and I do remember there was they do like a close up of a frog eating a fly, and is like a slow motion watching how his tongue works, and it's so silly. Those. Yeah, without getting into the controversy surrounding John Kricfalusi, and if he's watching, forgive me, but that was shit. Without getting into all of that, the rest of the crew was pretty nuts. They were all pretty crazy. Anyhow, yeah, a little crazy, a little yike. Okay, what did I need for red? What did I need for? Oh, I remember that. Yes, a red can come out of. So now I need to sort of come up with some spaghetti sauce. All right, here we go. So I'm gonna start with my orange here. A little touch of my magenta should turn this pretty red. There we go. Get it in the a little bit more magenta. There we go. There we are. I think I got myself a nice little. Yeah, because we have to have some pools of, a little bit brighter. There we go. I think that's gonna be good, right? We have to have like the red sauce, right? So it's gonna fall in and around the pasta, and we're gonna have it in some of these areas. Oh, my paint didn't quite dry. Oh no. And just kind of splatch it on a little bit so it kind of shows up. There we go. Okay, yeah. I'm picturing in my mind, a plate of spaghetti where it's covered in red sauce, slippery red sauce, right? And is it reading as noodles? I think it's kind of reading as noodles. I think. But there we go. There we go. Oh, okay. It's nice to be able to, I can look up occasionally and see sort of what's happening on my painting from a distance. That's one of my favorite bits about this. Okay, now let's just sort of. Okay, now I'm going to come back in with this and do some. I need to restore some of my line work in my yellow. There we go. There we go. A little bit over there, a little bit over there. Oh, no, I just hit it in the green. That wasn't where I wanted to go. There. I'm just trying to obliterate any of the remaining white that's on here from the canvas, and I think once I do that, it'll resemble a nice splotchy. I don't have quite enough of the darker lines in here, right? So I'll have to do that. I'm going to do that when this dries. I've got a color I can use for that. There we go. All right. So we have the basics. We have the basics. All right. That tongue needs a darker background. Need to indicate the bottom of the tongue, a little darker version, and this sort of it's weird. It like forms this like weird like splatty hand is what they do. It's crazy. There we go. Splat. Hey, Mediocre's here. How you doing? Greetings, Mediocre. Locked down when he first started painting and then got a frantic call from one of my customers. Come back as Space Frog is eating spaghetti. Oh, yeah. Hey, welcome to Happy Friday from the Space Art Studios. Well, I'm glad it looks like spaghetti because I was getting a little concerned. I was missing the mark on that one. There we go. Yay. It's a riot. Okay, I need my black here. All right. I've been thinking about how I was going to do the flies this whole time. So, yeah, we're going to do a couple of flies. I'll bet they don't serve spaghetti like this in Palermo. Yeah. No, I would be thrilled. Oh my gosh. And then we have to have one kind of stuck on the end of his tongue, right? There we go. There we go. Yay. Okay. Let's see. Where did that go? Need some of this. Trying to get some highlights in there on him. There we go. And then we're going to do the same thing for his neck. Get some shadow and highlights. Well, I'm going to do shadow on this one. Still a little wet. That's okay. That's okay. We're just going to get this in here, and it'll help us define the shape. I know I always overtalk this. I narrate my life, and it's very annoying to people around me. Spaghetti with fly marinara sauce. Yeah, for those of you that did just join it, yeah, we're this was the theme we drew today. Oh my God, Stephanie's gonna die. Of course, she doesn't remember all of the ones that she wrote, but there are she does know that there's a few. So yeah, bingo. Oh, that's just too funny. Now I have another green. Where's my phthalo green? Alrighty, phthalo blue. Of course, I have 5 versions of phthalo blue because who doesn't need that? Where did that go? Green gold, green this. Maybe I don't have. Maybe I don't have that one in here. Oh yeah, I do. I have phthalo blue or phthalo green, blue shade. Okay, now where am I going to put this? I'm going to put this one over here. See if I can get some of this in. All right. I needed a darker green for his shadow zones. I'm just going to try to mix it in with a little bit of my frog green. There we go. And this will get me a nice darker side here. There we go. Oh, yeah. And then a little run across his mouth. No, I don't want that. No, 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 no. I didn't want that. See if I can pull that off. Yeah, there we go. Too wet. Too wet. I don't think I can do that. Yep, too wet. Too wet. Okay, I'm gonna hold off on that one for right now. All my paint is like floating on the surface, but in the interest of I got my tiniest of brushes. The fly details will be very important. So I'm kind of going to dry brush this a little bit, I think. Let's see. Let's do a little. I won't go obvious on all of them, but there we go. This is sick. This is sick. Some of them are legs up, because you'd expect that not every fly is going to be like, so some of these are going to be like legs just sticking out, and I would do their eyes and stuff, but I think for this size, that's going to probably do pretty good. Yeah, there we go. Okay, now. None of this stuff is drying as fast as I want it to. Wah. Wah, wah. Let me see if I can get a little highlight streak. There we go. Little highlights in some white, because that'll help make it read as fly. Right? A little white in with the... There we go. Doop. Doop. Little bits of fly goo. So this is like, sometimes you see something reflective in the light, and on a fly it's going to be like wings. So this should help make it read as flies in spaghetti. There we go. Splat. Oh, you know what? It doesn't. What's not reading for me as well is the part of his tongue. I didn't really 3D that one enough. So let's do that right now. Let's or not the tongue, but like this part right here. Yeah, we need this a little darker than that even, I think. I'm just kind of going straight with my is it raw or burnt umber? I forget which one I have on this one. I've got so many. I forget. But yeah, we need this to be like a little darker, splat. Flies bolognese. Exactly. We cater to all species at this fine establishment. The Frog Spuntino. Splat. Oh, and then of course, to make the tongue really read as wet, we gotta have a little bit of white to that. There we go. Splat. Oh, that's just sick. We're sick people, I tell ya. They're gonna find us and they're gonna come and get us. No. Boop. Splat. Boop, boop, boop. There we go. One frog tongue over spaghetti. And actually, that's working out pretty well. Let me see if I can get this in. Oh, yeah, there we go. Now we're starting to get it. There we go. Now we're getting some of our... the paint's drying a bit to the point where I can get in and get some of these highlights in, like that. There we are. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Fly ragu. Yes. Hey, waiter, there's a fly in my ragu. Shh, everyone will want one. And again, the entire live stream runs away. Dad jokes are here at the top of every hour. So it's 4 o'clock my time. Hey, thanks for everybody for joining tonight too, by the way. I really appreciate it. There we go. And I present to you, I think I'm going to call this one. Again, these are supposed to be like, oh, I can't call this one yet. I can't do it. I can't do it. You can't make me. Because I forgot to kind of come in and do some work on his eyes. This is important. Splat. There we go. Yay. If they were spaghettios, flies could use them as preserves in the sauce. Oh, no spaghettios. The power of advertising, people. I remember TV commercials from the 70s. Alrighty. Well, that was awesome. That was a lot of fun. So I present to you all the majestic space frog spaghetti. There we go. Look at this. We've got 3 of them down here. And of course, when this is all done, I'm just going to auction it off or something, or maybe we'll do a giveaway. I don't know. I haven't done a giveaway in a long time. I know. It's been a while. I got to tell you, a lot of things on Twitch were easier. There we go. So we now have 3 tiles filled. That's fun. Very cool. Da-ba-ba-boo. It's goofy. Alrighty. I'm going to set that back over here. Oh, that was so fun. Actually, I do kind of get a kick out of doing stuff like that, and it does bring a level of fun we need. We crave the fun. Thank you. I'm gonna pretend around every time you do one of those. I'm gonna pretend like it's the animated version in my mind, because I do kind of miss that about Twitch. Twitch was definitely more of a it had more of those. What do we have here? I have a thing. What is this? Start a Q&A, start a poll, members only live stream. Oh, cool. Okay, cool. Engage with my audience, it's telling me. Sorry, I got distracted by UI elements that don't matter. Okay. Where are the next pieces? Hey, I don't know what I did with my pencil. I'm missing my pencil. I always do this. I gotta tell you, this is why I don't get anything done. I misplace things. I'm gonna blame the cat. Pickles, what'd you do with my pencil? Okay. Bummer. All right, I got another one. All right, I'm going to do a light green one then. Well, drat. Okay, so while I'm preparing for the next one, we're gonna move on to a but this is a probably a 6x9 gessoed board, premium gesso panel. It's basically just masonite, but with a nice surface on it. And I've got myself a nice little pencil I can use to draw our scene. And probably on the ground here is the blue one that I was using beforehand. Oh well. Bum ba dum bum 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 ba dum. Okay, cool. Let's see. So switching back over art view. There we are. So what I really like about these, wow, that's up there pretty high, isn't it? There we go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, cool. Let me slide this out. There we go. So I can we see it okay? I think we can kind of see it okay. It looks looks good. Okay, cool. Awesome. So this one, we're not going to use the same paint. So all of these get to go and say bye-bye. All right, bye-bye. Bump, bump. Setting them aside. I don't have an assistant that can take them for me yet. All right. Get that out of the way. For this painting, like the one last week, I'm going to be breaking into I know it's a whole bunch of wine, table wine. No, I'm gonna be breaking into my casein paints here a little bit. So there we go. I know, don't you love my organization system? It's basically a box that once had wine in it a very, very long time ago. It's been ages. So we're gonna use this stuff. Stuff's nice, and I last week was the first time I worked with it for a bit, and it's funny you don't hear the swearing that goes on in my brain when I'm restarting a painting with a paint medium I haven't used in months, because it's like, oh shit, it does this. Oh shit, it's like that. Oh shit. It's sorry. Oh, swearing. I forgot. I was gonna stop swearing. Sorry, folks. Didn't happen this week. All right. It's impossible, I tell you. Impossible. All right. So we're still. Oh, I got a little paint on there. That's okay. I just like this for the surface. For one, instead of it being like a white page, it's kind of that 50% gray, which is fabulous. So yeah, and it's gonna go with. This will be a good companion piece for our space frog. Now, like I said, let me see. Do I have a good sample of space frog's shape? I do. All right, grab this here. So, the space frog here. It's like analog recall on a mix, right? Exactly. It's yeah. So Space Frog has kind of morphed a little bit as I've been drawing him, and this one, his eyes kind of came closer together. I was going a little bit too much of Genesee Valley Frog, which I liked. Don't get me wrong, I do like that, but there's a let's see, where's a good one here? Okay, here's a good one. So here's a drawing that is kind of more like what Space Frog is going to look like, basically. So his eyes kind of fell a little bit. He's a squished head, but and so that's what the final, and that's what I'm painting in the other ones here. But I didn't mind this version of the character. Yeah, that looks like this one looks like Michigan J Frog. Okay, that was the other thing I was looking at too. So Krista, you nailed it, spot on. I have it's upstairs right now, but I have a couple of books on the Warner Brothers cartoons, which has a lot of artwork and backgrounds, including Michigan J Frog. Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal. Send me a kiss by wire. Anyway. Easily one of my all-time favorite of the Warner Brothers cartoons, which, by the way, it's also Chuck Jones' favorite character that he's ever animated, according to after the cartoon came out, that became the one that he remembered the most. So I think that's pretty fun. So anyhow, I will finish this up off stream, and here's the cool thing. As I get into this could be like a version of Space Frog as he was drawn in the 1960s or 50s by the Chuck Jones Warner Brothers crew, right? So in the meta universe that is Space Frog, maybe there were cartoons done by all the major studios. Like maybe it goes all the way back to Bob Clampett and the Disney era, Steamboat Willie, where it was black and white and his arms were all wiggly and stuff. The old Warner Brothers cartoons are so my favorite, and then there's also when I had thought about what Space Frog is, aside from the cute painting that I did, it's cartoons like that come to mind, and what's the other one? Underdog, right? Like the whole the whole range of cartoons that were in like that sort of underdog Rocky and Bullwinkle era, where the animation was pretty static. You know, they really they pulled off cheap very well. So that's where that's coming from. Anyhow, Space Frog continues. Which, by the way, let me go ahead and before I get too far on this, let's drop in a couple. So here's a Top Cat for sure. Top Cat, Huckleberry Hound. Here we go. All right. Which, by the way, I'm putting a link on the chat to the Patreon if you're so inclined. All of my Space Frog work is going to be released there, including these paintings you're seeing here are sort of for the public face. There's a whole lot going on behind the scenes, and I'm going to be I without revealing too much, because I am the worst at finishing any project I say I'm going to start. I'm absolutely the worst. Pink Panther. Oh my god. Genius. Oh my god. There's so the poor dog in the Pink Panther that gets locked out of the house. He like locks the dog out of the house, and it's wintertime, and he keeps barking in the window. That to this day still kills me. Anyway, so I'm not gonna say I'm gonna do stuff. I'm gonna say there's some cool stuff in the works. Anyhow, so join the Patreon. You'll get first dibs at it. And the next thing here, this one's free. Okay. So by the way, if you're considering joining my Patreon, $5 a month, don't do it today. It's yeah, Hank. Yeah, there we go, Hank. And then of course, the Discord's absolutely free. So please feel free to drop in, and I'm putting out notices on when live streams are going there. It's been kind of dead for the last year, but trust me, Christopher Dahl Studios is waking up, and you're not going to want to miss it because it's going to be awesome. I think. Besides, I'm actually considering eliminating major sections of my social media platform. I don't want to go too far into it. Cartoon, but not a cartoon, Jonny Quest. Oh my gosh. So Jonny Quest has a couple of episodes that scared the crap out of me. And the one that there's an invisible monster in Jonny Quest. The trick's been used before, right? And the only way they could see the monster, they determine it's like an electromagnetic monster. They have to like throw bags of paint at it, and it was so ridiculous, But it scared the crap out of me. The idea that there was this like hideous ghost-looking monster. When I saw it years later, and I saw it with my girls, they were like, "Jesus, Dad, that scared you? That was garbage." I know, I was young. It was a different time. Leave me alone. I really like Johnny. I didn't realize Jonny Quest started as a different show, and they'd actually done a pilot of it. It was another action show, but a lot of the clips that are shown in the end credits of Jonny Quest were from that other show. So anyway, yeah. Okay, and then I have to admit, I was too old to enjoy this cartoon. I was too old to admit that I enjoyed the cartoon. But when Ren and Stimpy came out, I keep mentioning it. That broke my head. I thought that was freaking hilarious. Okay, so what are we going to do today? So Space Frog, Jonny Quest was great, and of course later on the Venture Brothers, which riffed on it pretty well. So Space Frog's got, you can see he's in some like swanky, it looks like, in my mind, it's like the inside of the TWA building designed by Sierranen in the New York airport. So Space Frog's got to have a place, right? He's got to have a place to live. This is it's going to be a pretty important part. And the powdered toast man. So we're going to draw today. Oh, I can't even see that. Okay, this like gray on green is not going to do it. Okay, hold on. I found my other pencil. Will blue on green do it? Yes, it will. Okay, I found my pencil. It wasn't Pickles after all. It was the artist. It was the artist that dropped the pencil. Okay, great. Damn artists. They're all nuts, I tell you. Every one of them. Nuts. Alrighty. Bum 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 ba bum. Okay, cool. So every hero has a lair. Every hero has that special place that they call home, their outpost, their uh their swanky pad. I don't want to draw it from this angle. Hang on a second. I think I need to draw it from this angle over here. Yeah, I need less of an angle. So sorry about that. Space Frog has the space pad. Woohoo! The space pad. Like if you looked at it straight down, it's what I was kind of starting to draw. Can I get rid of that? I can get rid of that. Yes, I can. I don't even need to erase it. There we go. All right. I'm not nuts. Everyone else is. That's right. All right, let's get that under there. So Space Frog's lair, if you will, is that man's nuts. Grab him. Oh, that was a bad one. All right, how do I do this? All right, let me get in the baselines before I go into too much detail. So we're gonna add. So this is Space Frog's home, if you will. And let's see. Actually, straight up. Straight up. Vip. Okay. And then straight up there. There are things in the design of Space Frog's world that started on our live streams here. So let's just put this down. All right, let's see here. I know this is going to be hard to see with the gray on blue, and I could probably actually let me try that right now. I've already stand up, but I'm not going to do that because it'll just be an unattractive thing to see. Let's see if I can. There we go. Let's do that. Okay. I'm gonna brighten it up just a little bit there. All right. Here we go. That's a little bit bigger than I thought. Okay, but yeah, this is way huge. Okay, so I'm just gonna go with it. And there's a okay. We're gonna get kind of a close-up view. We're not gonna see too much of the base yet, but there we go. There's like two cantilevered legs that come out. One's going to be going there. One's going to be down there. Okay, that's cool. I put a lot of thought into this, and I haven't sorted it out entirely yet. So there we go. This will be kind of in there. And that attaches there. Okay. And then we got a little tree line. This is like trees, right? Trees and a valley. All right, there we go. Okay. Now, unfortunately, yeah. So it's supposed to be really tall, right? Well, you know, so it's going to be like kind of a weird close up of it. But let's get the way I see it is there's kind of like there's a house. There's like a penthouse up here, okay? On top. This is a flat pad, and it's got a little tower. There's a little. All right. Hola from San Francisco. Greetings. Hello, San Francisco. Oh my gosh, I would love to do an eating tour of San Francisco too. How you doing? Good to see you. We are working on a space froggy thing. There we go. Ba-dum-bum-bum. Yeah, maybe I could even put Space Frog on here. I'm not sure. So we're drawing Space Frog's lair. Now, this is like a Jetsons style building. We're gonna have to have some little windows here for the elevator. There's an elevator. I don't know how someone gets in from the base, but we'll figure it out. Gotta have those. There we go. And then this is like open windows in the front. Very tall windows. There we go. Okay. Space Frog. Yeah. So yeah, we had We had this one from last week. Ooh, just had the best bagel outside of New York City. I am in on that. Oh my gosh. Bagels. I have to say, my occasional trip to see our oldest in the general vicinity of New York City is bagels are definitely always a part of it. So we'll put a little cloud up here, right? We'll put a little cloud there, a little cloud over here, and this is going to be our what do I put down in here? I'm not sure. So I'm just gonna. Oh, one of his other cars, a flying car thing. Yeah, I'll do a little flying car thing in here. Very Jetsons like. There we go. Okay. So here's our basic drawing. Let's see if we can get this knocked in. Righto. Alrighty. So the way I was thinking of it is that these are like two tall metal legs. This is like the base of this is like the legs of the Space Needle are my inspiration for this. This thing's a really tall building, and the top of it is just this whole piece up here. It detaches at this point, and the whole thing flies away. You know, and then it comes back and lands on this little section right here. So when he goes on his little adventures, he can either go in his little space car or fly with his jetpack, or, you know, if he wants to, he could take his whole penthouse with him. So there we go. It's going to be a Space Frog penthouse is what it's going to be. Woohoo! Alrighty. Oh, this is fun. This is going to be fun. Here we go. Alrighty. So back to... Thanks for joining, everyone. Sorry, hair's not in. Again, I'm going to be using our Cassine paints here, and I'll be mixing and going from those. But yeah, welcome to the studio. Okay, let's get back out here. I've got I got a palette knife. That's good. I'm gonna need some white, some cerulean blue, and I need something that's kind of orangey. I'll do a little raw sienna for that. Cool. And I will show you how I'm mixing all of this up. Get this out of the way. So I have I would say that I know a lot of you are regulars and you know all of this stuff, but I'm going to tell everybody so you don't see. So this is a piece of glass. I have a bunch of these, and that's where I'm going to put my paint. And it's nice. I can see through it, and I can see this wonderful my wonderful tabletop, which most of these splotches of paint were put on here during my live stream. Because I never used to paint on this thing. I never used to paint on my drawing table. Oh, sorry. I never painted on my drawing table. This was never something I painted on. Remember to tell you of a Space Frog idea ahead, a la Adventure Brothers. Yeah, drop me a line on the side for sure. Adventure Brothers was just, yeah, that did it for many of us. We were just a sort of adult children to have enjoyed something like Venture Brothers for sure. But yeah, very, very fun. All right, let me get back down here to the head, and let me see if I can't. I'm gonna keep this thing handy. I'm gonna do this I'm gonna work from the back front. So I'm gonna mix up a sky. We're gonna be pretty aggressive with our sky here. So let me get out some cerulean blue. There we go. And oh. I'll pull this down. I'm trying to be mindful of the experience of the viewer. I can't believe how much I need to order some more of this. This is my last of my titanium white on this. I'm gonna have to get some more paint here. I put some of that out. Right-yo. And for the sake of I'm going to use for my... This isn't really much of an orange, raw sienna. Let me get something that's more the orangey, do a little burnt sienna. I don't need a lot. I just need enough to gray up my sky a bit. All right. Now, my tendency when mixing paint for sky is I always kind of go... I'm either too dark or too light. It drives me nuts. So I'm just going to start with this. Do a touch of cerulean blue, and actually let's just use I'm not gonna be shy about it. See, this is where I'm so adept at this, except when I'm trying to do this in front of people. And then it's just like a disaster. You're like, how does this guy do any of this? What the hell? Did you say he's an artist? You say he's an artist? My God. I'm kidding. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then there's always the, did you mix enough? Oh, I hate this. I hate this palette knife. This is not everything. It's all something else. None of it's the artist's fault. See, this is just, yeah. All right, I'm gonna need more. We want it light, but not that light. There we go. This usually I needed a palette knife that was a little more flexible than this one, unfortunately. And they're all across the room. Even though the there we go. I'm gonna need more than that. I'm absolutely gonna. Okay, that's the color. This is the color I want, but I'm just gonna. Yeah, I needed a lot more. I'm just gonna do it. I kind of wanted to go fairly thick with my application here. Besides, I might need it for later. See, I could have just done that. But let's just start dark. Or start light, and then we'll go dark. Yeah, this one's just... Oh, this one's bugging the crap out of it. Do I have anyone here? Anyone? Bueller. All right, let's try this one. This one's got a rounded edge, and it's dirty as all get out, but I'm sure all the paint's dry. Yeah. There we go. All right, folks. There we are. That's better. Yeah. All right. That's kind of what I wanted to do. That one's really super stiff. Yeah, there we go. Bum, ba-dum, bum. I bet there's a space pig in that little space car. Oh, yes. Oh, your space pig painting, by the way, is got a prominent location upstairs in the living room. Yes. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna grab a different brush for this. That one, or let's go with I had a filbert, and it's gone. All right, well, we won't do a filbert then. Okay. Actually, need some water. Hang tight. All righty, gonna get some water here and get in, and we're just gonna get this all up here. Let's just kind of start getting this in, all right? This is a very smooth surface for this paint. So it tends to like pool and yeah. That's all right. We're gonna just go with it. It's, a lot of people just kind of think it basically sold as a craft paint, this casein, these days. But the genesis of casein paint like this was for people that do fine art and illustration. There we go. All righty. Yeah, I'll have to do a little. Rada, I will totally do a space pig dot for the for the pilot. I love that. That is so funny. Space pig. Space pig. There have been a few discussions on the general audience and maturity rating for whatever I do for Space Frog. Well, they won't be like totally NC-17 or X, although that's tempting. Kind of go with the Ralph Bakshi, Fritz the Cat kind of thing. Oh, that would be quite funny, actually. All right. So this is a water-based paint. So I'm basically just using straight water for all of my, to thin it down and stuff. And I'm just going to follow the contours of our structure here. There's a cloud there. That's all I really wanted. I'm just gonna. We'll put that in post, right? We'll put that in post. Muppets, pigs in space. Dr. Link Hogthrob. I remember so much of that show. Oh my gosh. Probably not as much. Actually, we did kind of do a viewing of the Muppet Show a while ago. I can't remember who had it. Somebody had it. You know what? I should just paint. I'll do the trees in a painterly fashion. How does that? I don't need no lines to do those trees. I can just do this. I can do trees. There we go. Yeah, there we are. Let's get the other side here. And same thing with the little flying gadget off the back. I'll put those in on my own. And then, oh my gosh, well these guys, yeah, they're transparent, so I have to paint through them. There we go. And we'll get this down here. Yeah, it's funny that as it's drying, I'm seeing that it's a very gray blue, which is exactly what I wanted to do. Hey, maybe I should make the little space car bigger. I think I'm going to do that. Sorry, space car. We're going to do it a little bit bigger so I can see the pig. So it'll be like space pig visiting space frog. How's that sound? Be like they'll be showing up for an afternoon cocktail or an afternoon tea. Tea and crumpets, Mr. Space Frog. Yes. Yes, Mr. Pig. There we go. I've successfully painted my gray card light blue gray. So, yay, art! Yay, art! He's arting! Yeah, just step aside. Watch out. He's getting some art going. All right, needs more white. Let's, Put some of that back. Let's clear the old decks here, shall we? See if I can get this out of the way. There we go. If I keep that mask together, I can still come back and use it and won't be too bad. Let's off. There we go. Now I have I've got some Terra Verte, a nice little green. Very, very original, yes. Space Frog and Z Space Pig. All right, there we go. Well, that whole like Jetsons theme of your Space Pig, Rhonda, just absolutely cracks me up. We love that painting so much. I'll take a picture of it tonight and put it in on the Discord. I love that. Okay, let's get some trees in here. Let's Bob Ross ourselves some trees, shall we? Oh, that's not going to work. A little bit of that. There we go. So it's going to be, I got a little bit of my green and a little bit of my, what do you call it? Raw sienna. So we're going to get a little tree line going here. This will be like the daytime side of the trees. Which, unlike the Jetsons, right? Like, so the Jetsons, you never really saw the ground, right? It was just kind of like a, where I was in the air. Well, you actually know that you did. I remember now, because there was a bird in one episode that was annoyed that he couldn't fly anymore, and then like some character just like careens into him out of the sky. Can't even blah blah. Anyway, the Jetsons. All right, let's just get some. I grabbed an older brush, an older round brush for oil painting, hoping that I could just like, God damn it. Hold your damn card down, mister. Way too wet. Way too wet. Yeah, hold on. Back here. Boop. There we go. Da-da-do-do-do-do-do-do. Where's my other green? Do this. Add a little different green to this. Shiva. Oh, that green's dead. Oh, that one's way dead. Okay, that tube's gone. All right, lost a tube, everybody. See, sometimes my paints are... I needed a darker green. Okay, well, I'll go for the cadmium. I don't want cadmium green. That's way, way too much. Give me a phthalo turquoise. This will be fun. And I need a yellow. There we go. What's a good yellow? Oh, you know what? A little raw sienna. There we go. This qualifies as yellow, plus it's gray. So if I were planning this, I would have actually had a bunch of colors ready to go. I'm doing this all on the fly, everybody. If you're new to the live stream, there's no planning involved, really, on this. It was so much fun. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, by the way. It was really cool. It's a favorite, for sure. All right, let's get some... there we go. Oh, God, it's so wet. What the heck? Why is that so wet? Why is that so wet? Okay. There we go. I know this is really going in to be blotchy, but we're gonna go for trees. I just wanted a tree pattern in here, just some chaos for this, and I'll nicen it up. We'll do it properly is what we'll do. But while this is all wet down here, it's just gonna be kind of strange, strange. There we go. Do 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 do. Okay. All right. Oh, I keep going out of camera. Sorry about that. I keep going out of the camera. There we go. The more I keep adding this as it dries, the more we'll get some. More it'll start building up into. It's a summertime. It's like a it's a nice summer scene. Unlike how it is right now outside my damn door. Yeah, exactly. And this is like trees in the distance. This isn't like there's a tree right here that I can absolutely show up close in person, right? This is trees in a distance is what this is. There we go. And I'm just kind of going back to my, I know I keep pulling out. I'm just going back and pulling in some of my other colors because I want sort of a rich melange of stuff. I want chaos. There we go. I want some chaos from the trees. Here we are. All right. Yay. Very good. Now, let's see. I would like for the roof, this structure on top. And again, just kind of taking I need a dark color. Oh my God, there's a cat hair in that. Oh, could you be so surprised that there would be a cat hair involved in any of this? Right, exactly. So I need a nice dark color, and I've got a turquoise bit. What do I need out of this? To really darken that up. Oh, I need more of that. That's it. That's what I needed. What's that, Chris? I needed more burnt sienna. That's it. I want a dark color, not too dark, with a little bit of red in it for the roof, for the roof structure. And since I'm kind of keeping all the colors together. The only blue I've really used, and probably the only one I will use, is that is the one in the sky. This is great. All right. All right, so I got this kind of darker gray. Let's see how this one lightens up. Oh yeah, there we go. How nice is that? That's pretty cool. All right, that's kind of what I wanted. Move some things out of here. I like where this is going. Okay. And I liked it better the other way. No, actually, this is kind of the gray, the grayish brown kind of thing I'm going for. Nice. Okay. So the way I'm going to do this is the legs are kind of like the Space Needle. They're painted white metal. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the color in of sort of the shadow, and that is sort of this muted, muddy, whatever this is. So this is going to be my, I'm just going to get the tones in for the legs. There we go. And the Space Needle in Seattle, Washington. That's what I'm referring to. I have an unnatural affinity for that stupid thing. It's great. I love that building. Not so much since they removed the restaurant, because I know the restaurant was never very good. It was expensive. Blah, blah. You know what? It was an experience, and it was a decent experience. It could have been better. I know, it could have been better, but it wasn't. Oh well. I'm going to use this same color as the base for the upper roof. Oh, whoop, there's wet on there. So this whole this whole thing on the top here. There we go. Do that. And then this. Yeah, so I ended up using this for all these different pieces. Very cool. So this little crow's nest up here is the place where he drives his building, or he can ride while driving his building, if he so desires. Besides, it's a good lookout point, right? Little giving little hints here of some shadow on the backside. So in this painting, the sun's coming in from the right. So I'm going to keep this kind of stuff up. Here we go. Now I'm going to take some more white here. A little bit of my Terra Verte green. A little bit more of my green. Maybe a little bit more of my green. Yeah, the other green. There we go. Because the entire thing was supposed to be like a lily pad. That's way too dark or way too bright. I can't do it that bright. I need it darker. That's not what I want to do. Not doing what I want it to do. I want it darker than I want this darker green than the background. Ew, gross. Okay. So I'm ruining my brush doing it this way. Let's not do that. Okay. There we go. So yeah, the sort of inspiration for this whole shape, right, is it's basically a giant lily pad shape. We're seeing it on an angle. Ew, that's terrible. Okay. Yeah, some of this paint, it's a little older. I have the medium for it. I don't really want to get it out. It's in the other room. I'm lazy and shit. Okay, there we go. All right. Up. Just gonna ruin my brushes here. All right, here we go. I think this is gonna work now. It's all down in there. Nice. All down in there. There we go. Nice little green there. Yeah, I'm getting a little hunks of stuff. That's unfortunate, but we'll work with it. Just gonna pull it out. There we go. All right. Try and clean out the old brushes here. Now, let's see. In the interest of cadmium orange, a little yellow ochre in the mix. There's a lot of, like I said, a lot of yellows and greens in this, but it is a space frog painting, right? So that's going to happen. So I grabbed a little bit of yellow ochre here, and I'm going to use it with some of the other existing paints for this middle section. And let's just see what we can do with that. Grab a little bit of this yellow ochre here. Going to do some white. There we go. Oh, that's actually bright enough to be like the legs. Maybe I'll do that. Let's see. Yeah. No, I'm going to do the legs and that middle piece. Okay, cool. Yeah, we're good. I'm just making decisions on the fly here, folks. Don't mind me. Man, I gotta get some music back on. That's this thing to kind of being quiet is weirding me out. Or I could just listen to music and then nobody else could. Well, what fun is that? All right, let's get this. Oh, this is just not working out the way I want any of this to go. All right, and then this little, the little pad launch pad structure there. There we go for that. And honestly, I kind of feel like let's get this up here. So it's flying this way, right? So it's configured in that direction. All right. We'll do a little bit of this right there. All right, I'm now on season 6 of my rewatch of Star Trek: The Next Generation. Woohoo! I know, weird. Why would you rewatch that show? It wasn't your favorite, Chris. We just went through Fistful of Datas, which is hilarious. I'm a sucker for some of that. I know. It was their Western. Okay, so we're gonna do leg on this side, and then we're gonna have like a little. There we go, and then this side of the leg. Oh, everything's bumping. Oh, I am so out of practice, everybody. So out of practice. Okay. Here we go. There we go. I'm just laying all this in. All right. So while that's happening, while I let that set up, let's get our Space Pigs little jet car in here, shall we? All right, cool. And do the jet car. Oop. A little bit better than that. Yep. This time I'm going to make the car going this way. Well, car. I love how they always called them cars on the Jetsons, which is hilarious. There's little flying saucers. Make it a little bit bigger. There we go. All right. Now I'm just kind of going with like, my the basic shape here of the car. So we're going to do a little shape for that, and then I'm going to come in with the pink and stuff later, but we'll there we go. Do. Little space pig with space frog. All right. Let's see if I can't. I'm gonna try to add a little bit of line weight to this while these fields are drying up here. So maybe I can get a little. That one's not too bad. There we go. I imagine that this is like the little roundhouse where they whatever elevator that's going up through the legs to get up there is going to stop there. So that's what that's for. All right, let's get this. I am not very practiced at this either, which is unfortunate. But we're gonna get there. All right, there we go. The Space Needle's legs are actually a bunch of I-beam that's twisted into crazy shapes. So let's get this one here. Actually, let's do it that way. Yeah, let's do it this way. I need to have my thumb on this, but I can't, or my finger rest on that, but I can't. So I'm kind of hovering. I'm just gonna commit. There we go. Same over here. Okay. Oh, and the other. Oh, okay. So speaking of movies, yeah, we were watching Mad Men. I talked about that. Uh, have any of you seen One Battle After Another yet? It's that one that's got Leonardo DiCaprio in it and Sean Penn's in it. Oh, I'm gonna forget the name of the guy. Oh, terrible about this. Uh, she's relatively recent. Forgive me. I forgot her name. Anyway, great movie, hilarious, weird, wonderful, odd. It's you know how when movies like The Fifth Element came out and you're like, I could probably watch that like 5 times. It's kind of like that. So if you have access to One Battle After Another, it's insane. And I don't know. There's parts of that movie that feel like it's a live version of Venture Brothers. But someone mentioned Venture Brothers earlier. But yeah, this is what happens. We get caught up in shows, and there we go. I'm going to treat this a little bit like it's a cartoon, and I'm going to do that. There we go. And there are some little vein shapes under here radiating out. Got one there. One out over there. And then we're going to follow this out to the I keep it keeps rolling on me and I keep effing it up. Not effing it up. I'm not effing it up. Let's just actually do this. So we've got some panache. There we go. All right. I'm just kind of putting in some detailing that I'd only hinted at with the there we go. Now that it's painted in, it should be part of the permanent record. Right. Actually, let's get some nice These probably should be some interesting colors instead of just this, but I haven't done that yet, so we'll see how it goes. Oh, muddy, gross paint right here, but I'm just gonna do it anyway. There we go. Whoa, no! Ah, too much! Don't do that. There we go. There we are. All right. Just kind of rendering it out. It's a dirty render. It's a dirty rendering of this thing, but that's all right. We're gonna make it work. I mean, as quick as I do these kind of end up being like what would you call it? They're kind of like color sketches, right? Sometimes when I'm doing these paintings, they're just basically a variation of yeah. Unfinished. Who knows? Let's get a little bit of this little shape, sunlight. Catch this edge right along here. Whoop! Come here. Come here. There we go. bum, 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 bum. I should probably brighten all of this up. Yeah, well, they're going to do that. I was imagining that this is a gigantic, like, open space here down the front, and it's like windows. There's windows over whatever his view is. So if he was upstairs, you would just be looking out in the sky. But if he was downstairs, it would be like, oh yeah, we could see out down there. That's pretty cool. Okay. How fun. I'm going to grab some of my blue right there. And a little bit more of my white. A little bit more of my white. There we go. A little bit of blue. And there we are. Okay. Here we are. A little bit of... Oh, that's just adorable. Oh my God. It didn't show up very well on the camera, I'm sorry to say, but it is adorable. And let's just go ahead and put this in up here. There we go. I'm just kind of adding highlights here just to sort of push this up just a bit. Slowly, probably way too slowly. Oh, that really looks terrible. It really looks bad. That's okay. Whereas every painting has like the stage where it's like the awkward teenage years, right? Am I right? Come on. Yeah, we got that. So we'll put in some blue. Yeah. I kept going over my line there too. I'm going to restore that. Sort of. Yeah. Anyway, there we go. Do 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 do. Hey. While that's doing its thing, I need to get out a little bit of a. I'm gonna get out some rose red. I don't need a lot of it because pink is real easy to come by when you've got a strong magenta like that. But where did that go? There it is. Okay, let's pull out some white. Put this. Where am I going to put them? Running out of space. I'll put it on another one of these. We'll. That's why I keep a couple of. Oh wait, no, I'll put it over here. Okay, there we go. Got some right there, and a little touch of pink. Can't see it. I know you can't see it. Okay, there we go. A little pink right here. All I need. Don't need a lot because he's just tiny. I know. It's just it's a dot. It's not much more of a dot, Rod. I'm sorry. Oh boy. Now I'm gonna come in with a little bit of very bright and obvious. This is where I kind of start having fun with it. I want to have a little. Ooh. I think what I want to do is my white's on the top, so I'm not reaching over everything here. Just get some white on there. This is kind of where the magic starts to happen. I've got all the tones in, right? So I've got all the tones in right now. And it's fun. It's kind of, just sort of there. It's an impressionistic pig. Yeah, I'll have I'll get a couple of dots of purple in there too. Just a purple, little green. So yeah, you get this thing to a point, and then you come in with your, really push the the contrasting colors, and then I'm going to come in right here on top with some whites, and that's going to really, really sing it. There we go. A little bright there. A bit of dip. I get some highlights on the building structure. I didn't do a very good job of rendering out the geometry of these legs, so I'll have to be sure that I do this with a little bit more panache in the official version. Excuse me. I haven't even that much today, and I was like, Ugh. All right. Bop, 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 bop. Gotta have a little exhausty bits there. And oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh my god, I almost forgot. I've got my little doodads on here, so let's do one. Let's do two. They come in. Do three. There we go. And then a little bit of. Oh my god, I hear cats upstairs going nuts. It's hilarious. And a little bit of a lighter blue, because these are like, reflective, right? There we go. Oh yeah, I could do a little bit in here too. There we go. Yeah, a little bit of lighter blue on that. And let that go. Oh, I need and clouds. I could do clouds. Clouds. Just trying to drop in a hint of some clouds in here. Nothing too extraordinary. Ah. That should be enough to give it kind of a hint of it, right? I think so too. Okay. Where is my? You know what I'm gonna do? Ooh. I don't think I'm gonna use that. I think I'm gonna use my acrylic black on this. I don't think I'm gonna use this stuff. All right, let's see if we can dot in a couple of eyes for our guest. There we go. Tiny dots. It's adorable. It's adorable. Okay. So, oh, that's cerulean blue. I didn't want that one. I wanted my, let's see. Since I did use phthalo, I do have some on here, but I'm going to add a little bit more. I think it's drying up. Okay, cool. What I'm going to try to do is mix up a chromic black with what I've got here, and probably going to need something else here. There we go. Oh yeah, that's a good purple black. That's a good purplish black, but not really black. Dark. Yeah, there we go. This will be good. Okay. Get that off there. Boop. Right. Okie dokie. Let's see how this is gonna read. Kind of like the same thing I just did with my the white I just had there. I'm gonna do a similar kind of thing. I need less paint there, less water in my paint, I guess you could say. All right, see if we can get in some details in here. There we go. A little darker. Yeah, that's gonna help it out a bit. There we go. Darkening up some things. All right, let's get in some. So I'm going to add some details. Make sure I'm not going to drop anything on there. I love the idea that there's like these windows where maybe the elevator was. So this is coming down the side. Elevator is, I should say. Yeah, there's an elevator. Of course, there's an elevator. I mean, you can't just transport up, right? That would be criminal. All right. Now I had a little thing off the back here that was kind of like the little Jetsons engine spike. So I'm going to put that back in. There we go. And we're going to have a little bit up here. Put a couple of things, just details. Now, it's the sky pad, baby. It's the sky pad. Rope ladder. Actually, I did a sketch of this earlier, and I very blatantly have like an open sewer. Like it's just there's they just drop it straight onto the ground from whatever is 600 feet in the air. Rope ladder. I love it. Here's the windows for this. Yeah, so I'm imagining that these are like the windows you'd see in like the Dulles International Airport. There's got to be some people. Got to be a party going on here, right? Little party action. There's going to be some people up there. Oh, that's just adorable. That's just adorable. Okay. I think if I can do this right, maybe yeah, there we go. Got a nice good gray there. There we go. Got a nice muddy gray I can use to sort of help define a shadow here. It's really glaring on me. I can't. It's weird. It just went down and I couldn't even see it. Like you could probably have seen it better than mine. So that's really funny. The Dulles International Airport is so well, yeah, but the dullest. I there were like 3 business trips in a row where for whatever reason like everyone was stuck at Dulles, myself included. I was like, "Oh, for God's sakes, why?" And one night it was terrible. It was like this. You're gonna have to stay somewhere. You've got to sit here for 8 hours, and it's like 3 in the morning. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. I'm not gonna like go get a hotel room. I probably should have, but yeah. Anyway, so basically, me having to sleep on the ground at basically where all those giant windows were in front. It was hilarious. And I was like, there was like 300 people that were in the same situation. So it was like, oh, hey, I could have driven halfway back by now. Anyway, you know what this needs? I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but this needs orange. So I'm just going to put some orange in here. Let's do that. So, there we go. I don't know. This is where I gets to be the impressionist stuff. What could be orange? I'm going to do a little bits there, and then we're going to have a little bit up here in the, yeah, inside, because, you know, it's a happening place, right? Maybe he's got, maybe Space Frog inside, it's sort of a, you know, 1970s era colors, right? And maybe this is just part of down below here. Who knows? Okay. Oh yeah, sunset. That's what it is. It's like the sunny side of everything here. There we go. There we are. So you become an airport vagrant. Yes, been there, done that. Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. And you know, it's not like I travel. Even when I was traveling for business, it's not like I ever traveled enough to the point where I'm like, I'm going to spend the money to get onto some, you know, some frequent flyer program where I can get into all the really cool lounges and everything. It was always just, I was just very annoyed. I was never part of that. But all right, here we go. I'm kind of digging it, in a weird way. All right, let's use this color and this color as kind of a, I needed some darker in here in the trees, I think. Yes, that's what it is. That's what this needed. Okay, this is exactly what. All right. Just to give the trees a little more little livelihood here, right? There we go. Hey, right, Rhonda, impressionist. I'm totally this is like impressionist tricks right down here. This is impressionist bullshit is what this is. that's the that's the professional term, right? Oh man. Frogs with cocktails milling about on the deck. Exactly. And hey, this is why the pig. He's not going to get left out of this party. Dang it. Make sure I get a good bright one on the pig there. Good bright one on there. There we go. Oh, big blobby. Yeah, it wasn't what I wanted. Okay. All right, let's get the little bit there, and I have to do a little. That was a mistake. That was a mistake. Okay, I wasn't watching where I was going. That was not a mistake. Some days it doesn't pay to paint badly. No. Hey, what am I kidding? It doesn't pay to paint well either. I'm kidding. That's just a joke. It's a terrible joke. All right, there we go. All right. I think I'm going to dedicate this to, you know, being the flying pig. I'm going to take just a little bit of that. I want a little hint of pink in and around, just in the vicinity here of Space Pig, and out here too. Just a little bit of little hint of color, right? Little hint of color. There we are, folks. And I'm going to go ahead and this is fun. This is fun, and I'm going to go ahead and give it a sign off here. Is what I'm going to do. Little signature. Hey, look, I finished one. There we go. Little signature on the bottom. Now I'm going to go ahead and just slide my paint out of the way. There we go. Move the paints out. And there we are. I'm going to present to you one mostly finished and one semi-finished. Pop the screen off. There we go. And we'll get back to we will get back to finishing the space frog here too. Like I said, he looks a little different because I was exploring the morphology of Space Frog. So this is like the Warner Brothers Chuck Jones version of Space Frog, and then this is sort of his Jetsons lair. You like this? Thank you, Houdini Bob. Houdini Bob. Houdini. I'd never seen the word Houdini before. Thank you. I'm having a lot of fun with these, and it makes me happy to hear that you're having fun with them too, because I feel like um, with my over the years I've been painting a lot of different things, right? And I some realistic, some semi-realistic, some cartoony, and I'm really thinking that this is something I need to dive into that I haven't really given myself permission to dive into with the level that I've needed to. And, and time's clock's ticking. Right? When am I going to get around to it? Right? And like I said earlier, I've been drawing cartoons and comics of some form or another my entire life. As much as I was drawing Star Trek ships way back when, I was also drawing crazy little silly cartoons to make my friends laugh, to make me laugh, and it's when you evaluate your life, the things that always stick with you. Uh, if you're someone like me that didn't pay attention to that close enough or enough to really pull the trigger, yeah. What else are we doing? All right, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to sign us out here for the Friday. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. Please join the Discord. I think I got it in here. Let me make sure. Yep, there we go. If you haven't already, please feel free to stop in and say hi. This is where I announce all the stuff coming up, and we will be having some new live streams coming up. I got one for my Patreon folks, so if you're over there, you're gonna see a lot more of Space Frog, and you're gonna see it before everybody else. And believe me, it's gonna be worth it. Also, we're gonna be doing some members only live streams for those of you that have signed up as a member here. We're gonna be doing like some of these where I finish some of like the Space Frog here, where I finish the Space Frog. We'll be doing that on the on the members only live stream, and I have a bunch of other unfinished ones, so it'll be pretty fun there too. So anyway, let me drop that link back in for the Patreon if you're so inclined. I'm keeping up with the. We're gonna be doing a lot of posts. We're gonna be doing a lot of it. All right, so I've taken my white paint with my little fan brush here, and let's just see how crazy this goes. This is where I throw paint everywhere. That just kind of gives it an air of legitimacy that it doesn't deserve.
emboss the shit out of this painting.